Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Um, we're not even going to take too long here to get right into it. I want this to be, it's a little time sensitive, guys, so I'm not even going to wait for everybody to start piling in today. Hopefully you showed up and are here and ready to go. There's just a couple things going on, guys. So as we mapped out yesterday, the dip zone, where we should expect the price to fall to, and where we should expect the price to stop at, and what areas should we start planning to buy at. That was the conversation, the topic of yesterday. And of course, right as we get started, right at 5:30, that's just very unfortunate because that's when Webull goes down for maintenance. So let's go ahead and pop up Bitcoin's chart here in trading view. We'll use just a different chart for now. And of course, it's going to be difficult. But guys, we're just about there. And I'll say right at this moment, we are in the scale-in zone. And hopefully you were taking a look at the chart just about 15 minutes ago, guys, is when we pretty much hit a bottom that it would have been a great opportunity to start taking advantage of that. If this would load for me, we could actually look at it here. All right, but while that loads, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. And what's going on to Envu? Rick, how's it going? Jalma, what's up? Matt's Market, thank you for showing up and showing that support. I do appreciate you. Doge Scotland and Gina, how's it going, everybody? So we don't need to see the current price action to evaluate what just happened and really get the point across. So let's go ahead and look at it from that perspective. Everything's freezing. Hopefully my stream's all right. All right, there we go. Really strange. So as you can see here, guys, when we streamed yesterday, we were right about here, somewhere in this area. And what we talked about was the fact that overall, when you consider all things, there was an opportunity for us to either hold here and go up, or hold here and then bounce, fall through, and then what would happen next? Either we bounce here or we continue downward. Overall, the expectation should be that we would see another downward move before a move up, regardless of what other people say. Reason being is technical analysis, and more importantly, just what's going on around the world right now and all the fear and uncertainty that people are starting to fear, or that they're starting to feel. When you factor all of those things in, overall, I think the sentiment for Bitcoin is a bit bearish. So we're at a level to make a decision. It could be up or down. And if you factor in everything that's going on right now, it just seems like down is most of the news right now is more unfortunate than it is positive. We've got the Evergrande thing over in China. We've got the infrastructure bill that should be dropping within the next week and a half. A lot of bad things on the horizon here that you can't help but ignore. And those things are what influences the market. So when we were sitting here yesterday, I did say I thought we'd go down. And what I did was I drew out, as you can see here, in case you missed yesterday's stream, I drew out what the dip buy zone should be, and then the price area that I don't expect us to touch, all things being considered. So as you can see here, anywhere from under 40,000 down to about 37,000 is where I expect that dropping to stop, whether or not it's done right now or not. And I genuinely do not expect us to go 36,000 or under. So I'm giving myself a little bit of a buffer. This 36 to 37,000 window, we might, see a wick or two under there. Wouldn't be surprised. But overall, wouldn't be counting on this. Definitely wouldn't be counting on this. I would be looking at anywhere in this area to start getting a position. Now, you can see here that on this drop off, we did first come down to 40,000 flat yesterday, had a strong bounce off, about 3,000. And now we just head back down and we made a new low down in the dip zone, right at 39,600. That's actually very, very, very low. It is concerningly low. You should be concerned, right? But being a good trader, you're looking at these lows as, all right, this is about my time to buy, not this is about my time to panic sell, right? You never want to sell the bottom and buy the top. That's who the good traders make money off of, the people that do that. So, and the reason, and just so you know, the reason I came to that conclusion of where we were going to stop was just looking back, very simply looking back. We know 42,500 was the level for months we were saying we needed to break above. We knew that was one support here. And we also knew that 40,000, 39,000, that whole area was the previous strong resistance that we kept running into when we were down here in this super bearish scenario. And even when we decided to start breaking out, you could see all this resistance up at around 40,000 and all this support down here at around 39, 38, and a little bit even at 37. And so that's how we got this box of where we could expect to now those resistances and supports functioning as supports here on the way back down. So that's how we got to that. Now, as we can see right now, looking at a chart that's actually loading, Bitcoin did fall down there, and it is doing a bit of a reversal off of that touch, a bit of a rejection off of that bounce. And we saw some real low lows off of that dip. So Bitcoin, yeah, it went down to 39,000. ADA actually went down to $1.91. That would have been an absolute steal to catch that. And that was right at about that dip zone level. Dogecoin here, if we take a look at that, actually fell down to 19 cents yet again. And Ethereum right now is actually at a really low price right now. It dipped down to 2,600 and it's still under 3,000. So all things considered, these guys are still low. We just that was the bottom. The next question would be, all right, we just hit the bottom. Are we going to go down lower? There is definitely still a chance, guys. There's definitely still a chance, but we are just about in that area that we're probably going to stop at. So I would, if you can pretend like this area down here does not exist, this red zone, and just focus on the orange zone that we drew right here. We are still pretty close to that range. I would not get too greedy. I would have some sort of small position long, I think. Really looking to double down in the orange dip zone box. There is still a chance that we're gonna, we do a bounce here and we fall yet again. There's also a chance we don't. There's no good way to know that right now. I would say there is still a high chance that we go back in that orange zone and we get some more dips to buy. That being said, these prices here, right around $2 or a little less ADA, under 40,000 Bitcoin, Dogecoin 1920, that kind of thing, those are prices I feel comfortable buying at. What I don't want to happen is me decide not to do anything here, and next thing you know, ADA's at 220, Bitcoin's at 43, Dogecoin's at 22, 23 cents, and we don't end up back in the orange, and I missed out on a lot of money there. So avoiding greed, my choice would be to start looking for some buy opportunities right about now. How's it going, Arat? What's going on? Yeah, OKC representing. What's going on? Skydive, hey, how's it going? Welcome back. Rizzo, the taper too. Exactly. We've got that taper as well. Invu says, just bought XRP, a great pump, secured my profits with stop loss. Awesome. Glad to hear you guys are doing good. Working too much? Same here. I feel you there. As we take a look at coin market cap, there's actually some interesting things going on here. We've got Bitcoin, of course, at the top. It's under 800 million. Or 800 billion rather, which is interesting. Ethereum here, 2,800. But Ethereum, the thing that's really interesting, Ethereum's doing very bad right now. Ethereum's actually down the highest out of the top 10, pretty much overall. If you ignore Polkadot, which just slipped into that 10th spot. Wow, look at Avalanche coming up at 11th. Just came out of nowhere. All right, but if you take a look at this, poor Dogecoin's now in 9th place, about to get knocked out of the top 10. It's actually about to be 10th place if Polkadot moves up any more, which is absolutely insane. But like I said, it is the season, in my opinion, for layer 1 and layer 2 network solutions. I think that is the time that we're in. So Polkadot, Solana, Cardano, Ethereum, this is their season. And I think we're gonna see Avalanche, another blockchain solution, so on and so forth. I think those guys are gonna come up, and it's their time to shine. And then I think we'll have another retail coin push. But Dogecoin is slipping, losing a lot of ground, down at 26 billion market cap, only 20 cents, not doing so hot. Cardano, actually really interesting, fell from 3rd place to 4th place and got knocked out by Tether, of all things, which is really funny because that price does not really move from $1. That's the whole point. It's pegged to the USD. So that just shows that Cardano's not having a great day. But if you just look at the percentages down in the last 24 hours and down over the last 7 days, you can see here, Bitcoin's down, 5.5, down about 12 over the last week. XRP down about 4%, Dogecoin down about 3%, Solana down about 10%, so on and so forth. But then you look at Ethereum, it's actually down about 8% over the last day and about 17% over the last 7 days. So that just shows you that of these coins here, from where they were sitting, Ethereum kind of fell the hardest. So maybe this is a really good dip buy for Ethereum if that's something you want to get into, or you could ride that wave up pretty soon. We know things like Ethereum have a strong future ahead of them. And don't forget, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already, please. If you don't mind, I do appreciate it. We know that things like Ethereum have a really strong future ahead of them with, Ethereum 2 coming, potential Dogecoin to ETH bridge, and a lot of other things. So Ethereum's going to keep running no matter what our personal opinions are, no matter how much we dislike the gas fees and all that. Ethereum will continue to succeed. I don't think there's any doubt about that, unless it doesn't fulfill its promises, unless ETH2 just doesn't come or something like that. So I'm pretty confident pretty much at any price. Just like I'd be confident in Bitcoin, I'd be confident in buying Ethereum. So it's a pretty good dip for that. Dogecoin I'm a little concerned about, but Avalanche is looking like it's pretty good. Cardano's at a good dip, and yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Heading back to the chart here, let's go ahead, pull up, take a look at XRP. XRP also rejected off 85. Jeez. 85 cents there. What a dip. Crazy, crazy. It's really crazy when you look at it just a couple days ago here and you see that it was up at $1.40. Very, very low prices here. Oops. I'm starting to be good at buying the dip, but still learning how to sell at the top. What time frame are you using for trading? Primarily, I use the 4-hour time frame for looking at the big picture. And when I want to come down, I look at like the 30-minute. Those two are very good for getting just an overall viewpoint of like when I should be buying and when I'm selling. The 4 hours is really good for that. In my opinion, it's even maybe in some cases a little better than the daily. And another reason for that is a lot of institutional investors use the 4-hour. And so if you're looking at what the institutional, big, large trading accounts are using, you're going to be able to buy dips when they do and sell when they do, because you're looking at the same chart as them. So that's my angle. Everything is on, fire sale. Exactly, Invu. Bought Sol at 121, all in. Awesome. What's going on, Amanda? How's it going? Marcelo says, oh yeah, I read that one. How's it going, Marcelo? Let me know, guys, if you have any questions. I would love for Weeble chart to be functioning, but it's not. So basically, guys, all I'm saying is that was the dip into that orange zone we were talking about. There's no way to know how this rejection is going to hold off of that area. That dip under that 40,000 area. There's no way to know. If I were to guess, I would say that we do have another trip back down there, and maybe we go just a little lower into like 38 or something like that. But there's just no way to know. So really what you don't want to do is completely pass up your opportunity to buy some. When something's on sale, yeah, you might get it at a better sale, but what if you don't? And if you really needed it, you really don't want to screw yourself over by doing nothing at all. That's my point. So I would at least buy a little bit and then go from there. There's a lot of FUD around what's been said, as if it drops below 38K, we are in a bear market and the alts die. Now, I would actually agree with you that if we drop below 38,000, there is potential for it to be very problematic. There really is, because then people might start looking at this here as not being done. You know what I mean? So if you take a look at it from this angle, what people are hoping to see is this move up, massive move up, a pullback, and that this is just a pullback right here before a continuation. Now, if instead we start falling back down to here, people might start viewing this as potential to continue down before anything else. And that's really going to mess a lot of things up. A lot of things. We will absolutely see a nasty market crash if that happens. So, yeah, we definitely don't want to start getting comfortable under 40,000. And really, if we go under 37, I think we're in a bit of a situation. So, I don't think that's going to happen, but I also hope it doesn't, because we had our dips already. I think we're good. Check out AVAX. It's a rock for real. Yeah, Avalanche, I've been hearing a lot of good things about, hearing a lot of people talk about it. And, you know, it's up 21% over the last 7 days. And despite Bitcoin falling, it is actually up a little percentage. So AVAX is holding its own. Good stuff there. And according to it's saying Avalanche is the fastest smart contracts platform in the blockchain industry. Blazing fast, low cost, and green. So that's good. Good stuff. September has always been a bad month for crypto. Yeah. Yes, it has. So I'm not surprised that, you know, we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off here. I'm not surprised, but like I said, just got to keep an eye on that 37,000 level to make sure things don't get out of hand. Because when you factor in that we know that September has typically been a red month, then like I said, people are already expecting this kind of dump to happen. So people tend to just be a little bearish on their own because of that. So a little less prone to buying, a little more geared towards feeling inclined to sell, having that already kind of seared into their minds that we're going to be selling off this month and we're not going to really close above 47,000 on Bitcoin. So that just makes people bearish, naturally. So I'm, like I said, for that reason, I'm not surprised to see us hovering 40 to 46, because if we're gonna be close red, that means we have to close under 47,000 on Bitcoin. So we've got to be doing something in that time. So it's a great time for a pullback. With all the bad news going around too, which just makes it an even better time for a pullback. But what we don't want to see is we start going too low and it starts a whole nother market crash. That wouldn't be good. Do I think Alchemy is good to buy? Let's take a look at ACH and let's see. ACH is sitting here at right around 7. Yeah, I've always said ACH at about, you know, 6.5 to 7 is probably the best buy that you're really going to get. Now, if Bitcoin crashes another time, you might be able to get that buy right there at the bottom. But if you believe in the ACH project, yes, right now is a great time to buy ACH. If you just take a look at the chart here and look at the bottoms, you can see you had one chance here on this consolidation before the launch. You had another chance here before the massive reversal. And now we're getting a bunch of touches here. We're right back there in that zone. Maybe we see it pull down towards 6 flat. I don't think we're going under that. So yes, now is a good time to buy ACH in my opinion. Doge going to 16. What's going on, DOGECOIN? I do hope it does not, but we'll see. Elbash, what's up? And how's it going, Josh? But yeah, guys, that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Bitcoin going to 37. Yeah, I could see Bitcoin 37. And I think that'll put Doge around 17. I don't want to see Doge going back to like 16 and under, because then it's making new lows. And Doge just does not need that right now. It's already not been super strong recently. So I think that's the last thing DOGECOIN needs, is to start going back to lower teens. But we'll see. We'll see. What's going on, Gilbert? And everybody, welcome to the stream. Don't forget, if you're just popping in, hit that like button if you enjoy the content, and also subscribe if you haven't. That way you can be a part of the next stream to come, which will be tomorrow. Check out the Stochastic on Bitcoin. I don't actually use that indicator, so it wouldn't really do too much. I don't use that at all. But guys, you can take a look here. I mean, we've got Litecoin here also down pretty substantially, down 16% over the last 7 days and 5% over the last 24 hours. Chainlink is doing actually very bad, down 25% over the last week. That might be the worst out of pretty much all of them here. But Avalanche is up, and it's actually still moving up right now. So that's good stuff. Ethereum's all right, doing another. Okay, it's just bouncing all over the place. It was back to 2,700 for a second there. Polkadot doing bad. I would love for this Weeble chart to come back. I really don't like looking at TradingView. But you can see here there is a strong rejection wick here on the underside. And we'll just have to see how that holds. That's really the point. Let's see. Should I switch to Solana? No, I wouldn't say switch to Solana. Not necessarily. Unless that's really what you're into. All the money is in network security crypto. Yeah, most of the money right now has kind of been shifting towards like the blockchain solutions, whether that's layer 1 or 2 or whatever they do. AVAX has goals for 400 plus. I really think it's going to be near ETH since it's the fastest on blockchain. It'll probably be up there top 5 pretty soon. I'm not surprised. And that's why I said a couple days ago, these blockchain solutions, guys, this is their time to shine. While Ethereum is down, Ethereum's right now is at its weakest point. It's overutilized. It's got too much traffic for what it can actually handle in its current state. And it's really starting to show. Things are getting way too expensive. People are, even the people in the NFT market, to mint an NFT, it's costing them hundreds of dollars due to the mining fee they have to pay. If you want to execute a transaction, send money to somebody or send it to a wallet, a lot of times it's a couple $100s to do that. If you want to use a DeFi app and accomplish something, a couple $100s. And no one has money to keep doing that sustainably. I don't care if you're a millionaire, you're not going to have a good time paying $200, $300 each time you want to do an action on a network. That is not sustainable. You'll be down a lot of money very quick. So at this time when Ethereum's at its weakest and its most inefficient is the time where all of these guys who boast efficiency and being cheap and fast, this is their time to shine. So we're going to see the Avalanches and the Cardano and Solanas and competitors that are similar. This will be their time to come up and say, all right, well, I can be better than Ethereum is right now because I do this. But they only have a limited time window, because if Ethereum can just stay and keep its leadership position here, if it can stay in the lead for long enough until Ethereum 2 comes out and gets rid of a lot of those problems that are what's holding it down right now, then it just goes ahead and solidifies its lead, because it's already got the popularity lead. So all it needs to do is get that update within a reasonable amount of time. But if it does not, we can really see things like Cardano and any of the other competitors start challenging it for that market cap. I feel bad for the Doge holders at 50 cents and higher. It's a bad time in crypto. I feel bad for the Bitcoin holders at 65. I feel bad for the ETH holders at 4,000. It's the same thing, really. Everybody's down about half. So, but yeah, it does suck. It does suck. If you're holding any cryptocurrency from up high before the market crash, you are not having the best time of your life. But hopefully you were able to make some good money and buy the dips up. Doge will hit about 17 cents within 2 weeks. Let's see. Vether, the only one pumping. There's a couple that are moving. You've got Avalanche too. And let's see. Yeah, I don't think you should switch to Solana like just because. I would say Ethereum's probably not the best one to be in at the moment, because this is the other guy's time to shine. Now I know, Ethereum's still going to be a pretty safe investment, but if you're really talking about taking on a little more risk for one that could have a little more reward, then you've got options. You've got Solana, you've got Avalanche, you've got Cardano, and you've got a lot of others. Solana, if that's the one you pick, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not saying that Solana should be the one. That should be a choice that you make based off your research. What about Avalanche holders when it was 50? Well, now they're up, so that's good. Any questions about the price action? Hopefully I was able to explain that pretty quickly and to the point. Cool. Looks like I answered most of the questions, guys. Don't forget, if you're new here, click that subscribe button. I do appreciate the support. I haven't been asking recently, and a lot of people haven't been because usually I ask, and that's how it works. But if you don't mind, click that subscribe button. We'll love to have your support next stream. Do appreciate all the following. What's up with the Fed? Jerome Powell's speech this week. Does that have to do with the tapering? Looking to buy now with all the low prices, but looking just to buy and hold long term. What would I recommend? That's a good question. I think it kind of depends on what kind of long-term hold you're really talking about. Are you talking a couple months? Are you talking like a year? But just to give a general answer on something I think would be a good idea to hold on to, I would probably buy a little bit of Cardano. It might be a little slow over these next couple months, but they still have some things around that are hyping it up. So we know in about 4 days, they're going to be having like a conference where they're going to be discussing partnerships that they're going to make. That could be a really big catalyst and cause the price to start to rally again. We also know that sometime next year, they're going to have what is it called? The Alonzo? No, not the Alonzo update. Whichever update's coming to enable that layer 2 that really makes the network way more fast and efficient. That's going to be coming sometime next year. And so that could be really, really big. And so if you're looking for a longer term hold, if you were to buy somewhere around now and come back in a year, you might be up 2-3x or something like that. Pretty nice. So that's my take on Cardano. I'd have to say same thing for Solana. My only thing with Solana is it already has pretty much everything it needs. There might be a couple more updates down the line, but it's already got the network running. It already has DeFi apps running on it. So what's really to come that's going to make it 4x in value at this point? There's probably not a whole lot much more left in the tank. And then I'm thinking about XRP. That could be another good investment to hold long term. Right now, we know they're in a bit of a sticky situation, but they are, fundamentally XRP is a really, really good token or coin for buying things with and selling things. It's a good store value and it's very fast and can be moved very quickly. And so I think XRP is going to kind of be like the DOGECOIN of corporate, where people are looking for just a coin to use as money, as cryptocurrency. And so as soon as XRP can get fully out of that hot water, get back to being listed on exchanges and everything, XRP could really see some exponential growth again. So XRP is probably a good one to invest in, I would say. XRP, Cardano, I would probably put a little bit in Ethereum as well, because hopefully next year ETH2 will be here and that should be massive. We could see like a 3x from where we are right now, 3 or 4x in my opinion, pretty easily. So that's another. And then, just experiment, I think, with some of the lesser known, less talked about blockchains that look to be really promising, and, pick your poison on that, whether that's something like Avalanche or whatever it happens to be. Just do a little research, see which ones are really fast, have smart contract capabilities, and pick your poison. And cheap, of course, cheap. MLN went up. Awesome. Few years. Probably the same recommendations. And Bitcoin as well. If you're going that long term, I would definitely say Bitcoin for sure, because time is Bitcoin's best friend. So the longer you plan to hold something, the more percentage gain opportunity you're giving yourself with Bitcoin. We even know, they're still set on 100K by the end of the year, or even up to 200, and then they're talking about like 500K within the next 1 or 2 after that. And we're sitting here at under 50,000, so that's still like 10x within 2 to 3 years. Definitely some Bitcoin, get that in your portfolio if you're holding for years. It doesn't really matter, by the way, if you can hold a whole Bitcoin or not, if you can buy one. Most of us here don't just have $40, $80, $120,000 just to go buy a couple Bitcoin with. The thing that you want to consider is when Bitcoin moves from 41,000 up to $45,000, that means, 10% of 41,000 or 40,000 is 4,000. So every time Bitcoin moves up or down $4,000, it moves up or down 10%. So you want to think about those percentage gains that you're going to get just by holding a portion of a Bitcoin. Because if you can only buy half a Bitcoin, you're still going to get the percentage gains when it goes up or down. It's just going to be a smaller position. And for that reason, you know, being such a large coin, a lot of times you don't see over short periods of time a massive percentage move come out of Bitcoin. But over the long haul, you're going to see big percentage gains, because going from 40,000 where we are now to hitting that 100K goal, that's going to be a little over 100%. And then going from, you know, from 100% up to that 500K target, that's going to be another 500% from there. So if you're holding from now, even with a smaller size, you'll get those percentage gains. AMC CEO considering adding, yeah, thank you, Jehoiakim. That was another thing I wanted to talk about. So AMC's CEO on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and find that. He asked the community, because we know that AMC made the announcement that they were going to accept Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin SV, or Bitcoin Cash, whatever, right? We heard that, and everybody in the Dogecoin community rightfully got pretty annoyed, and they're like, okay, well, what about Dogecoin? AMC must be deaf. You know, they support the ape army, you know, how they went all in with the army on in the stock market, who was trying to short squeeze and get the thing to run up to like hundreds of dollars per stock, per share. But then they completely ignore the ape army over on the Dogecoin community that would surely at least half the ape army in the stock market also are part of the Dogecoin army, because they kind of came from the same place. So he's kind of acknowledging them on one end, but then they don't list Dogecoin or even consider it. So that was kind of a problem, and everybody on Twitter started talking about it. So just today, a couple hours ago, he said, the CEO says, I sincerely want to hear your opinion via this Twitter poll. By year end 2021, AMC will take Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash for online payments. I hear from many on my Twitter feed that we should also accept Dogecoin. Do you think AMC should explore accepting Dogecoin as well? And overwhelmingly, as you can expect, the overwhelming answer in this poll so far has been yes. And I'll go ahead and show what it was. I think it was somewhere around 70% said yes, for sure, do it when I looked earlier. And here we are, yeah. 75% saying yes. Some said yes, but I won't use it. And then a couple said no, that they don't really care. But we could say that about 82% here, if you combine the people that said yes for whatever reasons, 82% are in favor, and only a measly 16 or so percent, 17, were just like 17 and a half. So that will probably be happening. But that really shouldn't, and here's a bit of my concern, that shouldn't be the question. Where we sit today, people looking into cryptocurrency should already know Dogecoin's a solid coin. They have a massive backing, and if we're going to get into crypto, Dogecoin should be one of the coins that we want to pick. It shouldn't be this whole second thought where everybody's like, yeah, we'll get into crypto and we'll take literally everything else. And, oh, Dogecoin? Well, I guess we can, guys, should we? We can look into figuring that out, I guess. You know, that's a bit of a problem. And I think it starts with us, the community that's really pushing it. So if we really care about this Doge thing, we need to take it serious and make it serious. I think a little bit of the hype has been starting to fade even from amongst the community, and we're just not getting that same push for it. So we are the direct contributors to Dogecoin's success or its failure, and I think people are failing to realize that, and just kind of taking advantage, you know. And it's cool to see stuff like, you know, Doge Chicken Restaurant, Doge Beans Coffee. I've got my bag right back there somewhere. I forgot. Oh, it's over there. You can see it behind me over there. You know, it's cool to get into this kind of stuff, and this is good for the community. But when this is all it turns into, and you don't have any more people actually trying to push for Dogecoin acceptance anymore in the community, and it's all just like, how can I make money off of being a Dogecoin themed business or making Dogecoin themed NFTs or whatever, I think that is where the downfall starts to kick in, because directing 100% of energy to one side is not good. So hopefully the Doge community gets back to doing what they started, which was, you know, having fun like that, and you know, apparel, which even I did, but you see my links aren't really as advertised, and all kinds of stuff, but focusing on spreading the word about Dogecoin and getting people to accept it. I haven't been seeing any of that recently. So that's a little unfortunate. Just a quick rant, in case you weren't here for my rant yesterday. But we'll see. I'm not a massive Dogecoin just because, the community means a lot to me with my investments. And Dogecoin success, like I said, strictly community driven. And if I don't see the community really supporting it in the right way, it makes me a little bearish because I can see the opportunity for failure and I don't want to ride that wave down. So I am a little less bullish on Dogecoin than I was just 2 months ago because things have changed a bit. I'd be more than happy to be bullish on Dogecoin again by seeing some community adjustments. But right now I'm pretty neutral and I think Doge can go either way. And hopefully it goes up. Elon Musk can be a real boost to that, but we shouldn't have to rely on that, in my opinion. What's going on with Robinhood wallets? All right, so I've always said, going back to Dogecoin a bit, wallets on Robinhood would be the absolute biggest catalyst that I can think of for Dogecoin. It really would. And the reason for that is, statistically, most Dogecoin is held or owned by people, bought by people interacted with on Robinhood's exchange. The problem with that is we're now with that information saying most of the bought Dogecoin is held on an exchange where they can never ever spend it. So the only other option is to hold it with the intent to one day sell it, because that's the only thing you can possibly do with it. You're not just going to buy it to die with it. There's no point in doing that, right? The whole goal of Dogecoin is to be spent anyway and to be used. It's not supposed to be like a Bitcoin that's just going to increase in value and then you come back and you're 90 and a Dogecoin is worth $20 million or something. Dogecoin's only going to increase in value up to a certain point, and it's just not one of those things that are like Bitcoin. So, its purpose is to be bought, and on Robinhood, you only buy to sell because they don't give you an option to buy, to hold, to spend, or anything like that, or to send to a friend, or anything like of that nature. So, the reason that it's going to be such a big catalyst is because if Robinhood, where all the Dogecoin is bought, introduces wallets, you're now giving the Dogecoin buyers and holders another option. Here's something else you can do instead of selling it. You can just hold on to it and send it to a friend and not execute a sell that's going to make the market go down. Or you can just hold on to it and then go to a store and exchange it with the merchant to buy something without forcing a sell that will make the price go down. So if Robinhood gets wallets and allows people to do that with their Dogecoin, we could actually see the price of Dogecoin start to hold and start to go up way more as we just get, the same amount or more buying and less selling. And so that could have a direct effect on Dogecoin specifically, and then other cryptos like ETH, Bitcoin, and whatever else that now people are accepting as payment, and it's really easy to send those around. So hopefully Robinhood can figure it out. I did go on a bit of a Twitter rant saying why it would probably never happen for a couple reasons. And it's because we already know, according to Robinhood themselves, Dogecoin was Robinhood's most profitable cryptocurrency that they owned. And it was only after having Dogecoin for a couple months compared to already having Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of that for like months or years prior. Dogecoin came in and in a very short period of time was already generating the most revenue for Robinhood. Obviously, they don't want to get rid of that. As a company, whatever's making you the most money, you want to capitalize on it. You don't want to get rid of it. It only makes sense. So to then give people, and another problem is we already know Robinhood's been in hot water regarding going down at very inconvenient times, with stopping people from buying when they want to buy, stopping them from selling when they want to take profit, just at the worst possible times. But a lot of the reason that people are still using Robinhood is because they're already invested. They've already got their financials, their capital's already in Robinhood, and they don't want to have to close out their positions, deal with capital gains, and then move their money to another exchange. That's a lot to start to think about. So they're on Robinhood still because they're trapped. If you give people wallets, then you free them, because then you say, all right, now you don't have to worry about capital gains by selling anymore, and you don't have to worry about moving your capital, selling and then moving your capital around, because what we're going to do is give you a wallet where you can now just transfer your coin to the wallet and then send from the wallet to another exchange of your choice, and you don't have to worry about any of that anymore. So that's basically allowing the opportunity to flush their Dogecoin gains down the toilet as immediately a ton of people would just leave Robinhood if you give them wallets, which gives them freedom. So basically what I just said, it would be stupid for them to introduce wallets for a couple reasons. And basically what I just said summed up. And the only way that, and another problem with that too is, they have an all-free business model. And with wallets, they'd have to either change that and start charging per transaction to make some money, or just lose customers since they're giving them that freedom to leave without getting anything in return. Because they're not going to gain business for the most part. They might break even. You know, they'll free a lot of people that don't like them, and then they'll get a couple people that are like, ooh, maybe I'll use Robinhood because they have wallets. But overall, I think it'll be a net loss to do it. And so for Robinhood, it's kind of just a lose-lose situation, unless they decide to start charging in some kind of way for the wallet. And so I didn't think that they were going to do it. But then shortly after I bumped that tweet out, the CEO of... Okay, not Vladimir Putin. The CEO of Robinhood quickly came out and... Interesting. Quickly came out and then started teasing wallets. He's like, "When wallet?" And then he asked a question recently, or someone over there asked a question about like, do people actually want wallets on Robinhood, and what would they like to see from the wallets? And that got leaked. There was a leaked question about that wallet. Oh. And this might be one of the photos from that When Wallet tweet. So now they're starting to talk about having Robinhood wallets. Oh, here it is. What is one product feature you would love to see, and why wallets? So they're starting to entertain the discussion. They're starting to talk about it with the public. So obviously it's something on their minds. This does not mean necessarily that they're going to do it, but they're at least letting the public know that they're listening and they heard them regarding wallets. In my opinion, they're not going to drop wallets until Dogecoin cools off. I think just from a financial perspective, you really want to capitalize on the Dogecoin trading if it's what's most profitable. And if you know wallets are going to screw that up, you know, why do it? If people aren't leaving you either, why do it? You know, if it's not broken, don't fix it from a business perspective. But from our perspective, I'm sure we would love to see it. Rick says, once Robinhood does wallets, everyone will run. Exactly. And they've got to know that already. So I feel like this is just to please the public and get them to stop talking about it. But we'll see. We'll see. I won't be bearish on the scenario, on the possibility of them doing it. But I would think they won't. And where do we see Bitcoin going before it bounces? So right where it already went, 39,000, anywhere from under 40 down to 37. And we already got a bounce off of 39.6. We can see people are starting to buy, thinking that might have been the bottom. So we've already gotten there. Now it's a question of, does this hold as the bottom, or do we get another small bounce up to maybe like 42, and then it start to sell back off and do the real crash down to like 39, 38, 37? Not if they change their trading fees and 5% collared price. And that's what I said in the tweet. The only way that they can make it work logically to not completely screw themselves over would be to figure out a way, would be to change their business model by starting to charge, right? And Robinhood's whole thing has been that they're free and that they're really easy to get into for the beginner, and that there's no fees, even though they get a little bit of fee percentage on the back end and from institutions and whatnot. To the end user, it appears to be free. So the only way that they can make this work and not just completely screw over their financials would be to change their business model and figure out a way to make money off of this by charging some sort of a fee or a percentage for either buying and selling the crypto, or from moving it to your wallet, or from moving it from one wallet to maybe a wallet that's not a Robinhood wallet. Maybe that's a good way to do it. Charge some kind of transaction fee for exporting off of Robinhood. And I think that's what Crypto.com does as well, where you can use their wallet, or they're going to charge you a fee to move it to a not Crypto.com external wallet. So that's one way they could do it. But then, I mean, how much money does that net you? Because once they're gone, they're gone. You know, it's not a recurring fee that just keeps happening, just like trading is. So you just get a set little percentage from each person, and then you've lost that customer forever. So is it worth? But that's the only thing I could really see them doing, or rolling this up into some kind of Gold Plus subscription where you just like you pay, what is it, like $1.99 or something to be a Robinhood Gold member, something like that. I can't remember. Maybe they make like a Gold Plus. Maybe it's like $5 a month, and they hope that you forget to cancel, and they get like that $5 per person that wants a wallet. That could be smart, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm just thinking out loud. How's it going, Jonathan? Bear Norris says U.S. cryptos has more exposure to Chinese real estate firm than they admit. Not surprised. Hey, what's going on, Jared? Thanks for that support, man. And thank you guys for hitting that like button. I do appreciate it. AVAX 62. Is it still rolling? Oh, it's at 59 still. Unless this page just didn't refresh. Oh, it is at 62. AVAX is rolling. Check that out. Yeah, AVAX is having a bit of a run. Is this on Webull yet? Can we look at it? Yeah. So it got a nice touch here at the 100 EMA. It's looking to reload and move back up, so that's cool. Yeah, sorry, my page just didn't refresh. You're right. It was at 62. Hope you're having a good day, Jonathan. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, Stoic, the answer to that, anywhere from 40,000 down to 37, and we did already get a touch at 39, so it could have bounced for good. We'll just have to see, but that was the first bounce zone. We drew these boxes out yesterday, and you know, it was all eyes on that area, and sure enough, we got the touch right there in the orange dip buy zone. That could have been it, but if it's not, we'll see a little bit of a fall back down, and maybe it bounces off a lower area here towards like 38, 37, and then a move out. But that very well could have been it. So, you know, I'm considering still going long just a little bit here just in case, because what I don't want is to wait to see, oh, was that the bottom, and don't do anything at all. And next thing I know, Doge is at 22 again, ADA is at, you know, $2.20, Bitcoin's back at 43, 44, and now I'm having a buy not even close to the bottom. So while we're still near that bottom zone, I am considering placing a small buy, but we'll see. And I would recommend doing that, by the way, starting to scale in. That was my recommendation. All right, guys. Well, I think that was a pretty good stream. Answered a lot of questions. Hopefully, gave a lot of insight into what's going on and what to look at. Again, just keep an eye while we're still in this area. Keep an eye out. Make sure that we don't go, you know, if we pull back, look for another dip buy in that 37 to 40 area on Bitcoin, wherever that puts your altcoin that you want to buy. And then hopefully strap in, because that should be the bottom. If we start going into this red zone, it's going to be pretty disastrous. So that will be for another day. Obviously, we'd probably be at tomorrow's stream by the time that would start to be entertained. But I made this red because I don't see it happening. But at the same time, if something happens to force the price down there, it's probably going to be very bearish and not a good time. So let's hope that doesn't happen. That could be a setup for another market crash, and I don't think anybody wants to talk about that. I will say, though, if we're looking at, and I don't want to spread any FUD here, but if we're looking at this for what I mentioned a couple days ago about how this pattern here looks to be just a recreation of the overall pattern here, because you take a look, you see this multiple-legged run-up, and then you see the dump, and then you see this downward descending consolidation here, this downward triangle, and then it repeats from here. You know, here is here. You get the multi-legged run-up, you get the dump, you get the downward consolidation, and then you get the run-up. Well, what happened after that? It dumped, it held, and then it dumped again. So, we'll have to see. Because according to this, we could see ourselves making, you know, getting to this bottom right here, and then dumping further down. So that could, if we're just going to repeat history, we could end up in this red zone and then doing a continuation down. But like I said, that's getting, even though that would be pattern repeating, that pattern does not need to repeat again. That's not the way patterns always work. Just because something happened in the past one way doesn't mean it has to happen the next time, and then happen the next time again, and happen the next time again. That pattern does eventually stop, and on one of those, it'll then break to the other direction. Triangles and such don't always mean you're breaking up or down. That's like bull flags and head and shoulders that are usually that definitive. So I don't think that's going to happen. And another reason I don't think that's going to happen, guys, and why I think that would be overly bearish, is because there's no reason for Bitcoin to be worth under $30,000. All right. So the only case that I see that we would break down to here again and then fall into this red and then maybe even fall lower down to Bitcoin under 30,000 into 20s is if the infrastructure bill passes and it comes with some really, really, really bad connotations. So basically the government saying, yeah, we mentioned before we weren't going to enforce this, but now we are. So no mining in the US until you get it figured out and all of that. That's the only time I could see a bad market crash continuing. If that does not happen, which it probably will not happen, we should be just fine stopping here, maybe just dipping into this gray area zone right here and then launching. That's my best guess. That's the way things look. It's what the technicals say. It's what the fundamentals say. It's what the social sentiment says. And so based off that is how I'll be executing my trade. So hopefully that helped everybody out. No problem, Scott. Everybody else, thank you all for hanging out today. Let me know if you have any questions. Follow me on Twitter at 2020 Tech Reviews if you want to keep up with me while I'm not streaming. And also click subscribe if you have not. That'll do it for today. Have a great day, everybody.